There's people that like the non-frosted.
That's me. Strawberry non-frosted.
Okay.
Psychopath.
What's your favorite one?
I'm on the s'more one right now.
Brown sugar, cinnamon.
I was a winner. I'm not just a standard strawberry one though.
The strawberry with the sprinkles and the iciness.
So we're splitting these in half and eating from the middle, right? We got 2 slices. So this thing we're not eating from the top.
Light and toasted.
And then you cracker in half.
Depends on the mood.
Oh, we might go from a corner.
Might go from the corner.
We got crust first into the pizza.
Oh, I'm a crust guy.
I break off the end pieces and give them to my dog.
He's talking to you.
Non-frosted is kind of psycho.
I'm the only non-frosted guy in this building.
In the world. Oh,
no way.
It's like
Only
Fear
person I've
Factor
ever
stuff.
met who like
Fear Factor stuff.
I had to Google it. I didn't know that existed.
Shut the fuck up.
Look,
Is that a brownie tart? That's not even a pop
non-frosted
tart.
Pop-Tarts. I didn't know they existed.
This was Travis Kelce when he dated his previous girlfriend. This is him with his current girlfriend. Y'all, she turned him into Uncle Rico. Tell me I'm wrong.
I know what you're thinking. What? It's awful. It's horrendous. That second cowboy completely missed.
Man, I hate Tennessee because first of all, it's Tennessee, and I just hate them because they low down, they dirty, they some snitches, and I hate Philadelphia. I hate their colors. I'm not a dog person. I just hate Tennessee, man. Like, and I hate Neyland Stadium. It looks like a garbage truck worker convention, and I hate all their quarterbacks. I hate Tennessee, man.
Describe what you feel about the colors too.
It reminds me. It's not that orange that you can stand. See, I hate Tennessee more than I hate Auburn. I just dislike Auburn. I hate Tennessee. See, Tennessee's colors is that throw-up orange. It's not that orange that you can sit with. It's that puke inside of pumpkin orange. And I don't like pumpkins. So I really don't like Tennessee, man. I can't stress that enough, man. And they losers. They sore losers because they're not Alabama. And I hate Tennessee, man.
Oh, beautiful, man. Probably best interview I've done all year. Thank you, man.
I can't stress that enough. I hate them.
Put on the Alabama shirt. You just won the SEC championship.
You almost said. You know what you almost said.
Let me tell you something. Don't ever let that scarf sit down anywhere. You might not ever see it again. It won't even be a question about who took it. I'm gonna see you rant some photos with my face and with the scarf wrapped around my head like a Taliban. You just ridiculous.
No, you are a spoiled brat. You're over here pouting.
You were just ridiculous.
You're pouting.
You know what the word ridiculous means?
Can you spell ridiculous?
Yes, K-A-Y-L-A.
No, ridiculous spells a net.
No. You acting this way this close to Christmas.
Oh no! Don't you turn into this grandma thing that you got going on over here.
If you had won, you just wouldn't.
This ain't even the game.
Okay, Naya.
Your teammates are gonna kill you during recess tomorrow. I bet this team hopes you pitch against them every game. Tyson, if you know how to cheat, now's the time to start, all right? Let me freaking guess, your parents have you on a gluten-free diet, don't they?
I gotta tell you, we had a meeting. They coach, things are not going well. No Ray Charles can see that, brother.
So what's next?
Well, I gotta tell you this though. Say, coach, you got $17.1 million on your contract. We're gonna give it to you. I said, what time you want me to leave and what door you want me out of, brother?
Can't wait for kickoff. Well, we gotta practice a little bit. We gotta practice a little bit. I want these guys bouncing around today like a pogo stick on Viagra. You play to win the game. Hello? You play to win the game.
Including doing this. Walking up to somebody and saying, no, you will not be texting right now. You're going to watch this football game. He just took it and put it in his back pocket.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
No, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Ma'am?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Oh, no, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Oh, yes, ma'am.
Chris, why the fuck you at that house? Why the fuck you at that house?
Now, why is he at that big? Bro, he should be in the NFL right now. He should be at training camp. What's going on? This is the next Lions freaking running back, all right, Chris? Let's get you on the fucking squad ASAP, all right? Just quit messing around in these suburban neighborhoods. Let's get you on the fucking show.
This was my Christmas present, and I got it lost.
No, you probably would have rather had Cole, huh?
Yeah, probably. I'm feeling two of two things. A, I want A.J. Brown packing his bags, and I want him somewhere else that is not here. I love you, A.J., but, like, you can't make those drops in that game. And I also want Kevin Patullo flipping burgers at, like, the local McDonald's or something. I don't care.
Oh, my baby!
I mean, his ability to
just escape and make plays on the run. I mean, it's just outstanding what I've seen, and just the defensive side of it as well. We're definitely going to be a concern for me going forward if Alabama doesn't get their offensive line straightened out.
Chelsea, that's a great point.
What is up, y'all? We are back. Hold on. Too much lighting for me going on right here. Alright, y'all. So, on the show, play call list, going to start off with a motivational video, get into some drops in the touchdown drop. Let me speak English. Press 1 for English, y'all. We're going to get into the Touchdown Tribe National Anthem, and then I'll give y'all the updates on Terrion Arnold's case, and then our other topics for the NFL, and I have some WNBA stuff that I want to get into. But first, let's go ahead and get into the motivational video. It's actually one that Pooh Man sent me in the Discord, so shout out to Pooh Man. I believe it's from Denzel, but let me go ahead and get this video playing because I just added it right before the show. I almost forgot about it. Alright, here we go. I got it.
I'll say it again. Don't confuse movement with progress, because you can run in place and not get anything done. So are you moving forward, and who you're taking with you, and how you made things better by the God-given talent that you all have in whatever area it may be, to write it, to direct it, to produce it, to cut it, to shoot it. You have a gift. It's called a gift. You didn't earn it. You were born with a gift. Now you hone that gift. You develop that gift. You do everything you need to do to protect it, and then you share it.
Wow, that is good. Pooh Man, shout out to you for sending me that in the Discord. I'm fighting back tears, but that was good. Let's hear that again. Like, I want to make sure I soak up all that.
I'll say it again. Don't confuse movement with progress, because you can run in place and not get anything done. So are you moving forward?
That started off strong. Don't confuse movement with progress. Bars. Okay.
And who you're taking with you, and how you made
things. Who are you taking with you? Who are you surrounding yourself with? Ooh, this is so good.
Better by the God-given talent that you all have in whatever area it may be, to write it, to direct it, to produce it, to cut it, shoot it. You have a gift. It's called a gift. You didn't earn it. You were born with a gift. Now you own that gift. You develop that gift. You do everything you need to do to protect it, and then you share it.
Ooh, that's so good. Talking about cultivating gifts. Man, there was so much wisdom in that. Yeah, A-Team, so much wisdom in that. Shout out to Pooh Man for that. That was great. I have that saved, so I'm sure I'll play that again at some point. But shout out to Pooh Man. And what is up, LC? Good to have you in the building. Let's go ahead and get into our drops for our Touchdown Tribe team. So we have Philly Tide in the building. Hold on. I like to play this one for Philly Tide because he's also an Alabama fan. We got to go to this screen because it's a Nick Saban one. I actually have a Nick Saban one for like funny moments.
I'm not going to, so quit asking.
But shout out to you, Philly Tide. And then let's see, going back to this screen. Okay, we have LC in the building. Give me 1 second. I want to bring up your chat if it'll let me. There we go. Now we cooking. Let's find your drop, LC. But Terrion Arnold out on $1 million bond. Yeah, we're going to get into it. Ordered to house arrest. We're going to get into that. All 6 accomplices are co-defendants. That is false. Only 2 of the 6 are testifying against Terrion Arnold. And we've discussed this multiple times already. I guess it didn't sink in to G Honda's brain. but it's only the 2 women testifying against Terrion Arnold. So let's go ahead and get that straight, G Honda. Only 2 of the 6 are testifying against him. So, alright. Oh, and we also have Pooh Man in the building. Oh, I gotta play G Honda's drop. Let me play G Honda's drop.
Who the fuck could that be? What does his weird ass want now?
I'm not gonna play the full video, but man, anytime G Honda gets started, that's okay. You're still here, G Honda. Okay, never mind. Anytime you get started, I'm like, what does he want now? What does he want now? Okay. Now, Pooh Man, let's go to Pooh Man, the greatest mod in the YouTube streets, because he was here early on in the chat, but I wasn't logged in yet, so I can't bring up his chat. But I know that Pooh Man was in here because he dropped the news about the recent NFL, or not NFL, let me get my brain right, NBA, the recent NBA trades going on. But shout out to you, Pooh Man, for that.
Rolex wearing. Woo! Diamond ring wearing. Woo! Kiss stealing. Woo! Wheeling dealing. Woo!
You, Pooh Man. And we have my Auntie A-Team in the building. She always makes my day showing up. So thank you, A-Team, for showing up. Let's play your drop.
I'm gonna take on the room now. Yeah, A-Team, you tell him.
That was Auntie A-Team defending me against G Honda, aka G Hudson. Shout out to you, Auntie A-Team. Okay, now we can go. Oh, we gotta play, y'all. I don't want to forget the Touchdown Tribe National Anthem. Here we go. All rise for the Touchdown Tribe National Anthem.
On the Star Spangled Banner, Fergie.
That a flag was still there.
Yeah, G Honda, it's actually not that news. It was actually, hold on, let me go back to it. Because he put it in my Discord. It was about Morant being traded to the Trailblazers. So that was the one that Pooh Man sent me in the Discord. So shout out to you for dropping that. I actually don't drink G Honda. Anyways. So no, there is no Henny in this cowboy hat. Okay, so let's go ahead. Let me cover the Terrion Arnold updates. I don't know. Did I put it on this screen? I don't even know if I got to add it yet. Unless this is it. Nope, that's the old one. Okay, let me add this image real quick. My bad, y'all. I thought I already had it added, but I was doing a lot of last minute things before the show. So this will only take a second, and we're going to get into the recent Terrion Arnold updates. And let me tell you, it's some big wins for Terrion Arnold. I'm so excited for Terrion Arnold because it really shows you how dirty I think the state is being. Alright, here we go. Y'all might not be able to see everything, but don't worry, I'm going to break it all down because I have the image in my phone and I can zoom into everything and read it. Actually, I might be able to. Let me, I always forget to switch my bigger screen. No, I'm blind. I'm still gonna have to be able to read it from my phone. Okay, no big deal. Where's it at? Where's it at? Here we go. So, with his bond hearing, here is the massive win. So, he's granted bond pending trial. The decision, here's what the judge had to say. The judge determined that while prosecutors established probable cause, The evidence did not warrant pre-trial detention. Y'all, that is major. That's telling the judge, hey, you don't have enough evidence for me to not grant him bond. You have enough for probable cause, but not enough for me to decline him bond. I thought that was a major win. So here's what the judge had to say. The judge said, no physical evidence linking Arnold to the scene, no incriminating text messages or social media activity. So the state's case is heavily relying on the two women who are testifying against him for a lesser sentence. I gotta calm down, y'all. I gotta calm down because I'm noticing whenever I get excited about a topic, sometimes I just don't take my time speaking, and I need to remember to slow down. So my bad. I'll repeat some of that. So just going over this again, the judge determined while the prosecutors established probable cause, the evidence did not warrant pre-trial detention, which means the judge was not going to deny him bond because they didn't have enough physical evidence linking Arnold to the scene, and there was no incriminating text messages or social media activity. And this shows you, which is what I've been saying from the start, and if you go back to my video from 3 months ago, the state still has nothing. They're heavily relying on the two women who are testifying against him in order to have a lesser sentence. Let me see what y'all are saying in the chat. Let's see. Home confinement, he should not be under. And okay, so this is another thing. You said, I'm not familiar with this. Interested to see what it's all about. Yeah, it's definitely been something, LC, let me tell you. Okay, let me go back to reading this. So the allegations, the charges stem from an alleged incident back in February where these men were lured to an apartment and robbed and held at gunpoint in retaliation for a reported theft at Arnold's Airbnb. So this is what's being alleged, and these 6 people have already been convicted, but the only 2 that are testifying against him are the 2 women. The female witnesses, which I have it on this chart, the female witnesses, prosecutors allege that Arnold orchestrated the plot and instructed the women to lure the victims to the apartment. The 2 female co-defendants have reportedly entered plea deals and are cooperating, so they're going to be the ones testifying against him again for a lesser sentence. But going back to what the judge said, and this is something that I've known all along, anybody who looked into this case knows that the state is lacking a lot of evidence, and they're heavily relying on the 2 women's testimonies. And I don't know if I still have this image up. No, I don't. But y'all, if you go back and watch my other videos, I've shown you who these 2 women are. One of them is Ariana, and the other one is Jasmine. I've shown you these 2 women, y'all. If you want to know what they look like, you can go back to my other videos, my other lives, where I've recently talked about this. And I also have a video from 3 months ago from when I first covered this, and it shows you everyone involved. But here's the work clearance. So this is another big win for Terrion Arnold. He was granted work clearance. Arnold will remain on house arrest at his Tallahassee residence. The judge rejected a request for a GPS ankle monitor. So the judge rejected him having an ankle monitor. That's another big win. So he doesn't even have to wear an ankle monitor, y'all. Which would have conflicted with his NFL regulations, paving the way for Arnold to continue his football career. So he's most likely going to be able to still play. Granted, we don't know what the NFL is going to do, but I feel like this would be such a disservice for the NFL to reject him from playing or prevent him from playing. because it just adds to the issue of people presuming someone guilty before they even have a trial. You're presumed innocent. I think he should get to play. Again, the state is heavily relying on these two witnesses who have already been convicted and are just testifying against Arnold in order to have a lesser sentence. And it's like the judge said. The judge even said himself, hey, you don't have enough physical evidence linking Arnold to the scene. And there's no incriminating text messages or social media activity as well. So I don't, like, this is why I have such an issue with the state, because the state will have the motive to advance in their careers. They want to have high profile cases like this. And it's so unfortunate. It's so unfortunate. It's a dirty business with the state. People have to be aware of this. They can't just go assuming someone is guilty without knowing all the facts or the evidence, because the state is just as dirty. And y'all, the state, I talked about it before in my other chart, but the state of Florida only has a 70 to 74% conviction rate, right? And I would assume that most of those conviction rates, the reason why it's as high as it is, I mean, it's still low, but the reason why it's at 70 to 74% is because most can't afford a great defense team. But thankfully, someone in Terrion Arnold's case, he can afford a good defense team. So he's able to fight the dirty business of the state when they're just trying to press charges on someone and see what sticks. It's just really unfortunate. But his bond was set at $1 million. And again, the judge, Christopher Sabella, that is the one over the case right now. He said the evidence does not warrant a pretrial detention. So he's granted bond, no ankle monitor. He's, asked to be on house arrest, but that's it. And then he's still allowed to work. He'll still be allowed to be a part of the NFL. Let me make sure I covered everything. Let's see. I have one part I didn't cover, which is with the defense. Arnold's legal team, led by high-profile attorney Harvey Steinberg. This is another thing I wanted to talk about. I talked about his other attorney, Timothy Jansen. Timothy Jansen is still representing Arnold in this, along with Harvey Steinberg. But Harvey Steinberg is the one who argued at his bond hearing. But it says that Arnold's legal team, led by high-profile attorney Harvey Steinberg, scored the bond victory by arguing that there is no independent or physical evidence showing Arnold entered the apartment or directed the actions of the other individuals. Let's see, what does it say? It says something about next steps. Let me see. Next steps, case will proceed to trial. Arnold maintains his innocence. Career impact, no GPS monitor allows Arnold to continue his NFL career, and he's granted work clearance as well. The state's case relies heavily on the two co-defendant witnesses, which is the two women, as I've been saying. And again, no direct evidence, no physical evidence or phone data places Arnold at the crime scene. So this is interesting, y'all. Let me see. Hey, what's up, Pooh Man? I was talking about you earlier. Pooh Man, I played that video that you sent me for the motivational video for Denzel. That was so good. I really enjoyed that. Okay, y'all. I think I covered everything. Let me see what y'all are saying. Chelsea, Lions already released him. No, they didn't. They didn't release Terrion Arnold. I'm gonna look at this. I swear, G Honda, if you just saying stuff. I don't know where you're getting your information. No! Lions released Terrion Arnold. That's so dirty, y'all. This was 2 hours ago. I don't think that's not right, y'all. The Detroit Lions have released Terrion Arnold after he was arrested last week on felony charges. Even though he was granted work clearance, didn't have to wear a GPS monitor, any of that. I'm wondering if he has a... No, okay, so it says, this is what I was wondering about. I was like, what's his contract? Because if they violate the contract, what is this? Arnold had 2 years and $4.8 million remaining on his rookie contract. So I'm really upset with the Lions right now. I'm really upset with the Lions right now. I think that was a bad move on the Lions' part, and I hope I'm not gonna lie, I hope the Lions pay for that. I'm kind of ticked off at the Lions. I hope they pay for that because he's innocent until proven guilty. The judge even gave him work clearance, no GPS ankle monitor. I'm just wondering what avenues Terrion Arnold could possibly take against the Lions, because that just does not seem right. I'm gonna have to look into that. I had no clue that they released him. You owe me an apology. G Honda, you be talking some crazy things in the chat, so it's like the boy who cried wolf. You gotta consistently be reliable with your information. You can't just be running off at the mouth. If you don't give me something reliable every time, of course I'm gonna doubt some of the things you say. That's so unfortunate though. I'm just like, now I got to get my mind right, because I can't comprehend why the Lions would want to do that. After you already are hurting in the secondary, and they are allowing him to play. That's the crazy part. They were allowing him to play, and you all released him, knowing how desperate y'all are for like the secondary issues that you have. That's just crazy to me. I really think that the Lions might get Trayvon Diggs or somebody like that. I really do. G Hudson, leave Chelsea alone. Hey, shout out to Derek. Let's play your drop, Derek. Let's see. Where's it at? Where's it at? Here we go.
Leave Chelsea alone. What's wrong with you, G Honda? I'm the one who's telling you about your fantasy. Listen. Send me your address so I can send you a rainbow flag. Since you want to look like Alicia Keys. That's okay, man. You can't even grow. You can't even grow enough hair. I'm not accustomed to a man wanting to look like a woman. And you too dark to look like her. Why don't you? You know what? You look like a good Jennifer Hudson. That's what you would look like.
Yeah, you look like a gremlin, nigga. You look like a gremlin.
And it never gets old. What's up, Go Creeky? Good to see you in the building. Let's play your drop.
Do you know the Muffin Man?
The Muffin Man?
The Muffin Man.
Yes, I know the Muffin Man. Who lives on Drury Lane?
Shout out to you, Go Creeky. Okay. I came in right on time. You did, Go Creeky. Hey, shout out to you. That was funny. That was so funny last night. Whenever y'all were giving Prince Bud advice, I mean, mainly it was Ty Pro. Ty Pro was really trying to help Prince Bud out, and Derek too. Everyone was just trying to, give him the best advice with that airport lady. I don't know what he ultimately ended up deciding, but that was good. Okay. Now we can get into this Eagles topic. Hold on.
Our buddy AJ Brown.
The Eagles and the Patriots are going to be having a joint practice. That's going to be interesting. And Cooper DeJean is on this podcast. He has a podcast. I think it's called Epic Mike or something like that. I don't know. Y'all know I follow so many sports podcasts. It's hard to keep up with all their names. But Cooper DeJean has his own podcast, and he's talking about the A.J. Brown topic and all things with the Eagles. So let's go ahead and get into this, see what he has to say.
Brown, a.k.a. Arthur Brown, going to the Patriots. Tougher offense to play against, the Philadelphia Eagles or the Houston Texans?
I don't know. Just gotta
Guess we'll
see
find
how-
out.
Yeah, just gotta see y'all on tape for real, honestly. This is juicy.
So we're doing this now, Bob.
Oh, Exciting
Welcome
Mike's. Exciting Mike's is his podcast name.
Back to Exciting Mike's, connected with Xfinity. I'm Cooper DeJean.
And I'm Reed Blankenship, and we're back for another great episode, of course, just like every week.
Of course. Make sure to like, comment, share, and subscribe on YouTube or wherever you listen to your podcast. And follow us on socials at Exciting Mike's. Let's get into the episode. We are going to get into what's exciting us this week, but we're going to switch it up a little bit. Every episode, we usually start off with what's exciting us, me and Reed, this week.
But we're going to switch it up a little bit, change it up, and ask what's exciting all of us. Not just me and Coop, but everybody.
So, we're going to start with what's exciting you. What are you guys talking about? What's on your mind? What's been exciting you guys this week? You're going to send them in, and we'll talk about them. First, we're going to talk about our buddy A.J. Brown, a.k.a. Arthur Brown, going to the Patriots. Getting traded to the Patriots from the Philadelphia Eagles.
Yeah.
Crazy.
I had fun. I had fun when he was in Philly, for sure.
Yeah,
but that is his home,
his
he was
childhood
born,
team.
His childhood team.
Yeah.
Switched his number back to 1.
Y'all, that's another thing. A.J. Brown switched his number back to 1. So you have Jalen Hurts, number 1 at the Eagles, and now you have number 1 A.J. Brown at the Patriots. That you can't make this up. You can't make it up. And to be fair to A.J. Brown, even though I don't want to be, A.J. Brown did have this number in college, so it's not like he's trying to copy or throw shade at Jalen Hurts with this. Although I do find it funny. I do find it funny that he didn't want to stick with the number 11. I don't know if someone else on the team had the number 11 and this is why he's switching to 1. I don't know. I just find it odd that instead of keeping the 11 number, he wants to go back to 1.
College days.
Yeah.
I'm excited
I
for
wish
him,
him.
though.
I wish him nothing but success over there for sure.
Yeah, he'll be a good asset for them, and obviously we're gonna miss him, and what he was able to do in Philly was, he was a dominant player. So
you'll get to go against
him, but yeah, now we get to play against him in training camp, open practice or joint practice.
Joint practice, yeah,
they call it.
So they're going to be playing against each other, the Eagles and the Patriots, a joint practice.
Or not April, August 19th and 20th. I just saw it today.
August 19th and 20th, joint practice between the Eagles and the Patriots. Again, y'all can't make this stuff up.
On Instagram.
Nice.
So it'll be fun to go against him and see him up there in Foxborough.
Different colors.
Yes. Our next topic. Who's going to take Reed's spot at safety this year?
I heard you're getting some reps back there, though.
I have been taking some reps back
Okay,
there.
I think that's all that I wanted to talk about with that. Let me see.
I don't know. Just gotta
guess we'll find out. Though. Hopefully, we get a lot of young kids out there. We have some fun on the football field. Teach them some things.
That's all I wanted to cover on that. I just wanted to see what he had to say about the joint practice, what he had to say about AJ Brown, obviously, he's keeping it cordial. He's saying, hey, I wish him well. He's interested, I'm just as interested to see what it looks like with the joint practice between the Eagles and the Patriots, because you know those joint practices can get heated. So I can't wait to see what that looks like. All right, moving on. This is something.
There are two things we know about most.
Ty Pro, shout out Ty Pro from Prolific Minds Reacts, but he sent me this video and it's on how Jalen Hurts spent his money. So I can't wait to get into this.
Athletes, they're good at whatever sport they play and bad with money.
These mans that we keep talking about in these mansions and shit. These girlfriends and these Chanel bags.
My mom and dad had $1 million house. Hold on. So you gave him $3 million and bought him the house? And bought him the house. Oh, you a real one. Oh, yeah. House was $1 million.
I did a video a couple days about how these athletes blow generational wealth with bad decisions like having several girlfriends and having to buy them all Birkin bags. Or blowing millions of dollars without investing anything.
A 5-year, $100 million contract, right? What is it really? It's 5 years for 60. You're getting taxed. Do the math. That's 12 a year. You know, that you have to spend, use, flaunt, like whatever, however, it's real. I'm gonna buy a car, I'm gonna give my mom a house, I'm gonna do, everything costs money.
But even in that video, I pointed out that that's not all athletes because Marshawn Lynch was the complete opposite.
This is something I like this guy. Man, see, Ty Pro knows me well. He knows I like this type of mindset. But it's not all athletes. There are a lot more athletes who are educated on how to correctly go about handling their finances now. There's not many athletes who are just being irresponsible with money these days. They are more educated than ever on how to properly handle their finances. Not all athletes are like this, but you are seeing a larger amount of athletes handling their finances better. I will say that.
Go do some work over here for 3-4 hours, send me though maybe a couple $100 bands or something, and then I can just go eat off of that, and I don't even have to even worry or look at my game check.
And with Jalen Hurts breaking down how he spent his first $1 million, it seems like he's not only financially literate, but also savvy. And really the example that young people should be following when it comes to money. Save, invest, and get rich.
I try and be pretty smart about how I save my money, so the rest of this, it's all in the savings.
But I'm Jew, welcome to the channel. Please like and share the video. Don't forget to sub. Now, let's get into it.
Philadelphia gear, when I first got my money, $1,000.
Why the hell?
My friend, he was reacting to this video this morning. And I told him in the chat, I said, hey, like, that's ironic because I had someone from my live send me the exact same video and, well, it wasn't the exact same. He just, you know, strictly reacted to the Jalen Hurts one, but I thought that was ironic. I was like, hey, it must be meant to be for me to react to this.
Did the franchise quarterback have to buy Philadelphia gear? Shouldn't they have given him everything he wanted? I don't know. Maybe he spent $1,000 just buying stuff for his family, but I hope that man didn't have to go out and buy practice jerseys and all of that. That's crazy.
He got me some real jewelry. Ordered me some stuff offline, some clothes. Like, give me some shoes. Probably like 25 to 30. I'll put up 30. 30,000. My first year of fashion. For charities and giving.
Keep in mind, this is before NIL. So when Jalen Hurts entered, there was no NIL. Like, he didn't have the luxury of having that NIL money. So, you know, you had to work it a little bit differently than what these kids do today in today's time who are part of the NIL.
Back for my rookie year, $60K. That's what matters the most. For rent, Wi-Fi, phone bills, all this different stuff, $30,000 $30,000 this year.
So he didn't go out and immediately buy a big mansion, buy the biggest house he could find. He decided to rent, which is much cheaper. I'm sure it was luxury. I'm sure it was everything that he needed and was still fly, but it was much less than spending on a big house, which then has maintenance and other costs added to it. So I think that's smart and that's dope.
Obviously, as a professional athlete, you have people that work for you and do things for you, and it don't come free, you know. So for my agent, my financial advisor, I spent about $20 my rookie year.
That's good money, especially having a financial advisor. But man, watch them financial advisors, watch the CPAs, watch everybody that is managing your money. Because how many times have we heard celebrities getting ripped off by financial advisors or just crazy situations that happens with celebrity money, especially when you're not keeping a close eye on it. As a matter of fact,
to go through someone who's a credible financial advisor. This is why most of the time the people who have financial advisors, they're somebody credible who has been around the league and been a part of other NFL teams, like handling their finances. But you definitely have to be watching that.
I think Pac-Man Jones recently came out and said his mother was stealing from him. The legendary Pac-Man Jones reveals that his wife exposed that his mother was spending $82,000 per month from his paycheck. Can't trust anybody when it comes to money.
My first 2 years, I put up probably half of my signing bonus, and the rest of, I would see the statements, but I wasn't paying attention, you know what I mean? And my wife...
Just shut. I did not know that he had a does he have a podcast too? Because if so, I did not realize that. I'm going to have to try to find his podcast now. But anyways, Pac-Man Jones, that's crazy that he found out that his mom was stealing from him on top of all his legal troubles. Y'all know we broke down all his legal troubles. That's crazy, y'all. That's crazy.
She looked at the statements. This is when we first got together. She said, "God damn, man, your bills were $82,000 this month. It's like your mama bill more than yours." Then I start checking and going back and looking at things, and everybody don't have the shady story where Shady comes from a unbelievable background with parents was there to help him.
I've spent $20,000 on business fees this year. Taking care of my body for my rookie season, so $10,000 for training and self-care. Helping around the house, back home, I put $15K on that. I gave my brother $1,000 for his wedding. Couldn't even go because I had a game, but I gave him $1,000.
Anybody giving anybody money that they don't have to, they're not obligated.
That is hilarious. He gave his brother only $1,000. I'm not mad at it, but he gave his brother only $1,000 towards his wedding, which is still a considerable donation, right? In my opinion, that's very generous. But I find it funny. I find it funny.
It's nice, it's good, but you. But you gave your brother $1,000 for his wedding.
I don't feel as bad because he's laughing too. He's laughing about it too. That part got me. When it said only $1,000, I'm not saying that's bad, but I just thought that was hilarious.
Not even like a super fancy wedding. A regular wedding will run you like $30,000 to $40,000.
This is why I'm not. Y'all know how I feel about marriage. Like how I feel about marriage and weddings. Like I'm not against marriage, right? I don't like the government's involvement in marriage. I don't like it. That's not how God designed it. The government has no business being involved in a marriage, and I would much rather just have a wedding, make my vows to God, and leave the, court systems out of it. But that's just me. That's just me, y'all. That's how I look at it. But I know not everyone sees it that way. But anyways, weddings are another problem. That's another problem. I would not want no big fancy wedding. Like there's no need for that.
This man made $1 million and gave his brother $1,000. Respect to the money management for real.
$1K is enough as a wedding gift. I think that's reasonable. Like I know we find it funny. I mean, it's funny because of like how much he did make, and it is his brother, right? But I think $1K is reasonable. Reasonable donation. You don't need to blow your bank account on someone else's wedding. especially family members. So I thought the 1K was generous.
I'm sure his brother was happy to get it and humbled that his brother gave him anything. Because again, we're not entitled to anybody else's money. But $1,000 for his brother's wedding is kind of funny.
My 300 ride just right to me, so I got that car when I was in college. A used car, low mileage.
Respect.
Having the money I have now, I had the capabilities of paying it off, so I spent $10,000 paying my car off when I got my first meal.
Man, what? He spent...
Yo, I've talked about this. Even if I won $1 million, I would not go out and buy a new vehicle. I would buy a great newer used vehicle, right? But I wouldn't go out and buy an unnecessary brand new vehicle. There's no need for all that.
$10,000 paying his car off when he got his first meal. I think one was like a Bentley GT, another was a Range Rover, or I think it was a Range Rover. So he spent a couple $100,000 just on vehicles. But of course, that was a $50 million check versus $1 million check, but still.
Buy all my little bros whips. And then me.
Well,
I
he
got
did
50
say,
million.
Tiffany, this is the funny part too, is he did say that he wasn't even able to go to the wedding. He did say that. He said he gave his brother $1K but wasn't able to even attend the wedding. So I found that part interesting in the video. But I mean, still yet, like, I'm sure his brother understood, and who knows what his brother does, right? Like, his brother could be well off on his own. Like, his brother could have a successful career and not really needing Jalen Hurts' money. We don't know.
Now, don't I? I get me a penthouse and 2 whips. Give me a Range Rover Sport and a Bentley GT off the rep. You know what I'm saying? So now, bro, looking at 12.6, there's really 7. That's now after my folks and everything. Well, that's like what you got in the bank? $1 million? $1 million?
But still, the mindset is completely different. Not knocking Joe Hayden, he's from home, so I rock with him. But it's just a completely different mindset when it comes to money.
$15,000. Somebody told me that was a reasonable number for a vacation for the future. So I'll go to a nice place, spend $15,000 on a vacation or vacations. $70,000 set aside for her to go to college just in case she needs it.
He set aside $70,000 for his sister to go to college. That's dope. I think colleges are costing much more than
So he did set aside $70,000 for his sister to go to college. I think that's reasonable. People might look at it, well, you gave your brother only $1K for his wedding, but yeah, you gave your sister like $70,000. What's up with that? People might look at him funny for that. But here's the thing. Again, and it's like A-Team said earlier, 1K is enough as a wedding gift. That is a very generous wedding gift. Plus, you add in the fact Jalen Hurts' brother could be well off. Like, he could be, pretty advanced in his career and making good money. We don't know those factors, right? But that's what I'm assuming, because clearly Jalen Hurts didn't feel the need to give him any more than what he gave him. So I'm assuming it's because his brother didn't need it, right? But a college education, that's a big deal. So that's very kind of him to set aside that money for her college fund. And it's going to something for a good purpose, right? It's not something reckless. It's not like these other, some of these other athletes, not all, because like I said, most are educated on how to use their finances now. But some of the athletes who were irresponsible with their money and giving their siblings cars and things like that, Jalen Hurts isn't doing that. This is a donation that goes to something with a purpose. Like, there's a purpose, a college education that's way more important, I think, than just buying a brand new car. What is up from the Black Couch? I said from the Black Couch. I have a bad habit of that. But Black Couch X, what is up?
This $70,000, depending on where you are, you might need to re-up that $70,000 every year.
Set aside for her to go to college just in case she needs it. I try and be pretty smart about how I save my money, so the rest of this, it's all in the savings.
much. It's like 800,000.
All this money here, it went to savings. If I could get any advice to a rookie coming into
Now,
the
here's the
NFL,
thing. He said all this other money went to savings, right? Here's the thing. If you're just putting it in a savings account, that's not going to get you much. But my guess is he might have a high yield savings account, or he invests in what he saves. So he's gaining more profit from that savings, right? Like either through high yield savings or through investing that savings. Because, you got to be careful. Just putting that away, just putting that money away in a savings account really isn't drawing you much interest. Clap it out, Chelsea. From the black, or I said it again. Clap it out, Chelsea. Black Couch X. That's too funny, y'all. Okay, we got to play that drop now that Derek brought that up. We're at 6:49. Hold on. Let's go to the clap it out.
Clap it out, clap it out, clap it out.
There are two things we know about
Shout out to
most
you, Derek.
athletes.
Okay, let's go back to it. I think I said we were at 6:49. There we go.
if I could get any advice to a rookie coming into the NFL, having this amount of money for the first time ever in your life, be wise with your choices and decisions.
We need to see more stories like this. We don't see stories like this enough. We see people spending money, blowing money, buying all this stuff.
These bands that we keep talking about in these mansions and shit. These girlfriends and these Chanel bags.
All you see is people talking about the blowing money, right? You never see the athletes who are using their money responsibly. And trust me, there's a lot of athletes using their money responsibly now. I know that Terrion Arnold right now is in this legal battle, right? But Terrion Arnold didn't spend a dime of his NFL rookie money, right? He only used his endorsement deals and I think sponsors. I can't remember what else it was, but he only used that money to finance his life. Like, he didn't spend his rookie money. And granted, Terrion Arnold, his situation's a little bit different, right? Because I talked about Jalen Hurts. He wasn't a part of the NIL, right? So he didn't go into the NFL having this money like some of these other athletes who have the NIL deals now, right? Terrion Arnold, he had NIL deals. He went into the NFL with some money already, but he used it responsibly, right? Terrion Arnold still chose not to spend his NFL rookie contract money and just lived off of his endorsement deals and his other investments, which I think was smart considering everything he's facing right now with the legal battle. I'm glad that, that's what Terrion Arnold ended up doing, is being responsible with his money. But we need to see more stories like this because, like I said, there are plenty of athletes who are using their money responsible these days, and we're not seeing it. All you see are the stories like Odell Beckham Jr. and other athletes who blow their money.
Because, of course, that's what looks nicer. It looks more fun. It looks more exciting. But really, everybody needs to be doing this. This man saved $800,000+ out of $1 million. Didn't buy anything fancy, didn't do anything exciting, didn't show off, didn't flash. Just straight humble living and smart money management. We need more of this in the black community. Insane. Marshawn Lynch reveals that he didn't touch any of his $56 million he made while playing in the NFL.
But what I noticed was the money that I was making from off the field.
You have Jalen Hurts, Marshawn Lynch, you have Terrion Arnold. Like, these guys chose to use their money responsibly. It's not, I really don't like the idea that all these athletes are reckless with their money, because they're really not. Now more than ever, these athletes are being educated on how to carefully spend their money.
That was the money that I was using to finance my life. I'll take my day off and go do some work over here for 3-4 hours. You know what I mean? Bring in, you feel me though, maybe a couple $100 bands or something. And then I can just go eat off of that. And I don't even have to even worry or look at my game check. Yeah, all right.
Saving almost $800 out of your first $1 million when you get your first big check should be inspirational and motivational to everybody. Because when it comes to building wealth, it's not really about how much money you make. It's about how much money you save and invest. That money can then work for you while you're sleeping. Save more, spend less, live under our means, and get wealthy. But thanks for watching. Y'all let me know what
Shout out to Ty Pro from Prolific Minds Reacts. He's the one that sent me this video. So shout out to him for this because I really enjoyed it, and I know y'all did too, because we got Tiffany in the building. Let me go to some of the drops now for my favorites. Part of the Touchdown Tribe team. Let me scroll up here. See if it'll let me click on your comment. What? Does it want to be slow with bringing up the comments? There we go. There we go. Now I can find Tiffany. Here we go. Shout out to you, Tiffany. And let's see. We got Cases and Cam in the building. Shout out to you. You know, Cases and Cam, my bad. I still have not added that other drop. Even though I have it in my notes, I still forget about it. I need to add that. But I still have the other one.
McAfee's laying a little dance on it himself.
Shout out to you, Cases and Cam. And let's see. We got From the Black Couch, got to play your drop. Let's see, where's it at? There's Couch's Lady. And let me find the other one, because I have another one as well. Shout out to you. All right. And D Money is in the building. Shout out to you, D Money. Let me find your drop.
Oh, and can you bring my coleslaw on a separate plate? I hate it when it touches my bread.
Shout out to you, D Money. All right. Let's get into this other video. It is on what's inside the NFL playbook. I'm so excited about this one. It's from Julian Edleman, you know, the wide receiver. He played for the Patriots. But anyways, this is from his podcast.
What is it like to learn an NFL playbook? What's it like to learn an NFL playbook? Well, you're back when I came in, they give you the 3-inch binder.
I was gonna say it was actually a binder back then, right?
3-inch binder, which is the big boy, or what is that, right?
That's so funny. Back then, they're talking about back then. So back then you get a binder. Now you probably get it on a tablet device.
And
3 inches is huge.
Yeah,
3 inches is massive.
The big one.
It's massive. Yeah.
Yeah.
And so they would give you that, and there'd be a table of
Y'all gonna get kicked out of this chat. What are y'all saying about Jalen Hurts? Let me see. Hopefully Jalen can buy a better personality when he retires. You know what, D-Money? You benched for 1 minute. G Honda, you are going to be benched for 1 minute. Enjoy y'all's timeouts. Enjoy the bench. Enjoy the bench. Let me make sure. Did I? Okay. Okay, I timed out the right people. I was like, make sure I timed out the right people. But enjoy the bench because, listen, you know what? Tiffany, I really need to show them the video from Devontae Smith's wedding of Jalen Hurts and Devontae Smith dancing, line dancing and all that. Like, that was so great. Like, that shows his personality. But y'all don't want to realize that Jalen Hurts has a personality outside of the NFL. Y'all don't want to accept that, apparently. Y'all gonna make me mad. Chelsea chose violence. I did. I ain't playing, y'all. I ain't the one. Let's see, 24 seconds. let's go to some drops or memes. Let's see. What do I got? I wonder if this one will play. I'm the captain of this ship.
I'm the captain of the ship, cuz. I am the captain of the ship now.
I'm the captain of this ship. We will be perfect in every aspect of the game. You know what? I really need to get that one as a drop too. We will be perfect in every aspect of the game. Let's see, what else do I got? What's this one? Hold on. I don't know what this one is, but we're going to find out.
You need to leave.
Yo, I was not expecting that. It's the you need to leave one. No, I was not expecting that one. Hey, this is another good one.
Tell you something, boy. I want to put on my page. You don't like what I post? Get your butt out of here. You ain't got to stop over here. You ain't got to be over here.
You don't like us talking about Jalen Hurts? You don't got to be here, okay? You ain't got to be here. I don't know what else I got on here. Y'all, I got so many. Hey, I forgive y'all, though. I forgive you, because I know this.
Players fuck up. Players fuck up all the time. I was pissed. Players.
Y'all just messed up, okay? But I forgive you.
What is it like to learn
All right,
an
let's
NFL
go back
play?
to it.
Give you that slots. Then you had the offense install slots. And then when you get into offense install slots, that would break down to, a whole bunch of things from formations, personnel groups, splits, informations. They would have protections. They'd have all the site adjustment rules. They'd have all the hot adjustment rules. They'd have everything. Everything was broken down fundamentally on there.
That's great insight. So everything's broken down. It tells you all the rules. Like, man, I love these types of details.
On like you could find it in the playbook. Now it's transferred now to the iPad, which it's probably way cleaner and way awesome. And I remember we did that later in my career for the younger guys that were coming in. But I mean, it's literally like the encyclopedia of everything that the offense is about. I mean, we have an example up right here. That's exactly how it looks. It'll have the basic, and then it'll have like the defensive line. They'll have like how each play goes against each line. It'll break down each coverage. It'll break down everything that the defense does. You can communicate. Like, what did Gruden say? Recognition, communicate, execution, RCE.
Yep.
So you'd have to recognize what's going on after you learned your formation, personnel group, split, potential motion.
A lot there. Formation, personnel group. So all the ones that are in the group. I can't remember what else he said. There was a lot to unpack there, right? There's a lot of details that go into this.
Potential shift, like all those things. That's in the beginning, and then it goes into how things change against the defense. I mean, it gets into like what changes against certain defense because he played wide receiver, so it gets into like what you're going to see against certain defenses as well. Like that is so detailed, and I would expect nothing less from a pro sport, right? But even in college football now, like the SEC schools, I'm sure they incorporate this as part of their program. But wow, that's great to know this type of information. Literally, it has every single bit of information that the coach will explain to you. And it's much like the textbooks when we were kids, where you could read that, and if you could do that, it'd be great. But I was always a guy that would, I had to study it. I would look at it while we were installing it, while the coach was addressing the classroom, you would go through your playbook and you would kind of highlight. And then for me, a lot of guys, guys like me, receivers, the receivers always, I was a guy that used flashcards for personnel groups because there's like 60 different personnel groups. So, on Rangers, that's what is said before the play. That tells everyone who they are. Rangers, the personnel group. Our Rangers, an 11 personnel group, where, example, Danny goes to the F, I go to the Z, LaFell's on the X, and Gronk's at the Y. So there's 3 receivers, 1 tight end, and then whoever's in the backfield is in the backfield.
This is so
then
much information that they have to process and study and learn. Like, people, this is why I always try to educate people on this. It's not just dumb athletes, right? I talk about having a high football IQ. You have to have a high football IQ to compete in the NFL, right? If you don't, you're going to get cut. But these athletes are brilliant in their own way, right? Like, they're not these dumb athletes that everybody probably looks at them and thinks. Like, there's so much information that they have to learn and process. And it honestly makes their mind sharper than what people, assume. Because, like he said, he had to go through these flashcards and study, like, who those that were in his personnel group. He had to learn all the names, like who were a part of this personnel group. Like he said, there was over 60, right? So similar to a medical student learning medical jargon, or an attorney learning legal jargon, they have to use these flashcards just the same, right? So it's outstanding what they do. Chelsea, tell everyone about the apple pie moonshine inside the Cowboys cup. I don't drink like that. G Honda, what are you talking about? You're gonna get timed out again, talking crazy. Hey, Tiffany, if he starts acting up, if you see G Honda acting up, feel free to time him out. Anybody with a wrench, feel free to time them out. Pinball, I thought you had a wrench. I gotta give you a wrench, Pinball. Shout out to you, Pinball. There we go. We fixed that problem right there. I think I gave you a wrench. Hopefully I gave you a wrench and not G Honda. Because if I gave G Honda a wrench, I'm taking that back immediately.
Have regular. Regular was a 12. So then regular puts me at Z, LaFell at X, and then there'd be 2 tight ends that would come in. So you'd have to go over that. So I would always flashcard personnel groups and formations. Because if you fucked that up, you weren't getting a rep.
This is what I'm talking about. I told y'all just a minute ago, like, hey, if you don't know these plays, if you don't know who's in your personnel groups, if you don't know the play call, if you don't know the rules, you are getting cut. You have to comprehend. You have to have a high football IQ and comprehend so much information. And if you don't, you're getting cut.
Between these, like, so is it?
I will say that
when do you find out that you're
cut or you're getting benched? You're not going to see much playing time if you don't process this information.
like the Z and Ranger, or
that's
like how often does that change?
Find that out through the coaches,
like weekly.
So if they'll give you a group of personnel groups that we're gonna highlight this week, we're gonna use these six personnel groups: Rangers, sub, half, and another one,
regular or something.
No, regular is a 2. Those are all 11 personnel groups.
Okay.
So these are all these could be the same. There's 3 receivers, 1 tight end, and 1 running back. Like sub, half, Rangers, Army, Marines, those tell like every guy which spot they have to go into. So you could make a play for a guy instead of changing the whole concept, you could just change the personnel group. So if you're trying to get you're trying to get Danny at the F, instead of putting him at the F, you just change the personnel group and say now Danny goes, you know what I mean?
Right, that makes sense. And then tag it from there.
Tag it from there. You would never tag, you just say Rangers.
Okay.
And that would tell everyone where we all go. I'm at F, I'm at Z, he's at Z, he's at X. All right, and half, I'm at F, he's at Z. Half again, I'm at F, but maybe half and sub, everyone's in the same spot, but the tight ends change. There's a new tight end in. You know what I mean? So the personnel groups are they were a bitch to learn.
I was gonna say.
Then there's a formations. So then the formations, they would break it down. All right, guys, we'll have these 8 formations and these personnel groups, and then we could have these 7 empties.
Dang,
and
my
empties,
mind is just so like, I knew it was already a lot, right? Because y'all have heard me talk about how these football athletes have to have a high football IQ. Y'all have heard me talk about this. But just hearing the details of it, like how much information is in this is just outstanding.
Whenever the quarterback is empty and there's 5 guys on the line of scrimmage, 5 receivers, and so like you'd have to learn where what each formation was, because you'd have to put the F in here, the X goes outside, like if you're an empty, and it was just a whole lot of studying. And so once you got those down, then you'd have to learn defenses, because when things could change, or then you learn your concepts. So you go personnel groups, formations, and then you learn concepts.
So personnel groups, formations, and then concepts is what they're trying to process. That's how they break it down.
That were 2-man concepts, then there was 3-man concepts. So like read was an in cut by 1, and number 2 has an option route to the outside. And so conceptually, you were trying to high-low this backer. So that's read. Now, a 3-man concept, or ice is another one. Ice was where this guy has an in cut and this guy has a cross route. So that you'd learn those 2-mans. And there would be 3-man concepts. And so you're basically learning how you're building in your mind how the quarterback calls the play. So first thing you're going to hear is personnel group. Then you're going to hear formation. Then you got to learn your protections, because after your formations and concepts, you got to learn the protections, because the protections could change your route. If you are a side adjusting, or if you're depending on if you can get it protected, the receivers would have to know, because if it's only a 5-man protection, there could be a hot and a side adjustment if you're in an empty. So you'd have to see where the mic point is and communicate with the quarterback. The quarterback he would set the protection. You go, Mike 52, which is the front side backer. Or you go, check easy. We're gonna Mike 54.
Yep,
he changed the protection.
He's gonna switch it up because he's reading the defense. He sees something he don't like, he's gonna switch it up. I love details like this. This is why I study, I learn, I want to know as much information I can about sports, because I genuinely have such a passion for it. I'm not just some dumb girl on here running my mouth. Like, I genuinely study. Like yesterday, y'all, I'll give you an example. Yesterday, I was watching a NFL rerun of the Green Bay versus Dallas Cowboys game where, Dallas Cowboys lost. But I was rewatching that game. I'm constantly studying, breaking down film. It's honestly part of like journalism if you study journalism. But they talk about, hey, like you need to be studying these sports, like different sports, and play it on mute. See if you can break down what's going on without having any input. And this is how I'm able to process everything and talk to y'all about it, is because of how much studying I do. similar to, what these athletes are doing and how their football IQ is so high, right? Like, it's a little bit more in depth because he's giving you the insight knowledge of, like, how much it is. Like, studying 60 different personnel, that is crazy to me.
And he would look at me and he'd say, Jules. So that makes him the Mike. He's the Mike. He's the Will. Or the Will, or the Sam. And then the next guy would be a different slot, the Jack. And so then he would look at me and say, these two. If those two guys came, if he said 2, then I'd have to break my side adjustment. Now, if he looked at me, Tom could look at me and he could say, hey, Jules. What? If he did that, that means one or the other. If any one of those guys come, you got to break. All right? But if he said 2, you got to go when the 2 guys come. And sometimes they would come and one guy would jack out. So you'd have to get on route. All right? And then so another one, he could look at you and he could sit there and you see your guy on your face coming, but Tom would change protection all the way over here. So he'd make that guy the Mike who's on over me, the star or whatever. And he would sit there and he'd go, Jules, you're locked. So if regardless, no matter what, whoever came, you're locked on the route. So
I'll give you all a little insight with this, right? Because I talked about commentating, like in journalism, they tell you, like this is with sports journalism, right? But they'll tell you, hey, watch a game on mute, see if you can commentate this game, break everything down, look at everyone on the field, and give your insight without hearing the commentators. But I want to say this: if you do listen to the game with the commentators, sometimes they will give you insight saying, hey, the quarterback is shifting another man to another side of the field because he doesn't like what he sees with the defense, right? But just a little insight with that. If you hear a commentator speak on this, that's what they're referring to.
That's when you'd have to study your protections. So you go personnel group, formations, concepts, protections.
Whew.
And that's kind of, then you'd break into how defense was involved.
So if you're locked on the route, that means you run the route.
No matter what, it's the play call route.
You run it as it's drawn up. Okay.
You mentioned side adjustment. Hot, explain the
hot is to the strong side.
Okay.
So when the Sam, Mike and Sam come.
Y'all, I talked about this. Like I talked about this earlier. You have your medical jargon, you have your legal jargon, just like you have your little jargon in those fields. It's the same with football, right? They're talking about hot. He's talking about the other side of the field, like where the guys are going to be. There's so much football jargon that people don't even realize. Like, and this is something else I encourage y'all to study. If y'all are really into processing and learning this information and studying the game like I am, learn football jargon, not just the basic stuff like sacks, different positions like RB, QB. Really study the football jargon.
That's a hot.
Okay.
The side adjustments to the weak side. So it'd be like a will and a weak safety. So like if this guy, so you have your Mike, Sam, Will, right? You always see the quarterback making
middle,
the
strong,
point.
weak. Yeah.
So what he can do is though he could change. Well, we always think that this guy's the Mike, right? Because he's near the tight end, the strong side of the passing strength.
Yeah.
Well, he could change and make that guy the Mike.
Yeah.
So then it would make him the Mike. The guy to the right of him, who is the star, would be the Sam.
Yeah.
Meaning that the line can get it protected. And then this guy who we think looks like the Mike is now the Will.
Okay.
So the line could take care of the Mike, Will, and Sam. You know, that's when other guys get involved. That's when side adjustments and hots get involved.
And keep
So
in
then
mind,
side
a
adjustment
quarterback
is
has to be paying attention to which safeties are the strongest because they have to look out for their wide receivers. Like, there's just so much information to process.
Like
to the weak side.
It's to the weak side. It's a changing the route based off of the formation.
Changing the route. A hot and a side adjust could be the same kind of thing for the receiver, but it's just telling which side they go. So if it's to the passing strength, that's a hot.
So passing
if it's
strength, let me break this down. So passing strength, that's going to be the wide receiver to the strongest safety or CB, right? The weak, you're going to shift, and that receiver is going to be on the weakest, what's considered to be the weakest safety or CB of that game. And it can change because you could have games where players that you would consider hot, like I'm going to use Patrick Surtain as an example, right? But Patrick Surtain, he could be someone that's considered hot in one game, but then he could have an off game and then be considered the weak one, right? So it just all depends on the game.
So if I'm sitting here, right, and we make him the Mike, he's the Sam. So whoever comes off here, you're hot.
So you're going to fill that space where they were.
Depending on what the hot is, it could be a burst. You have to like a 5-yard hitch, full speed. You can't lollygag it because then they sniff that and they'll break. So you got to come off the ball hard every time. That was like the number one coaching point to any kind of side adjustment or hot. You got to come off because defense is fucking smart.
Oh yeah.
You know, they'll sniff that bullshit out if you come lollygagging off and then they break and it's a pick six because they got a guy coming to that area. But if you're sprinting, that guy doesn't know where you're going, so he would be all scared and he'll be less hesitant or less aggressive to break.
This is why.
So getting back,
I don't play chess. I play checkers, but this is why I relate the game to chess, even though I don't play chess. But it's a chess match between the offense, the defense, between the both coaches. It's a chess match. And I'm so in love with it, y'all. I'm so in love with the game.
Strength is hot. So to our strong side, right? So this guy, we make him the Mike. Anyone come off that Sam, you're hot. Anyone coming off the Will, you're sighting.
And then you just have to read if they're coming.
Well, yeah. We have to, but the quarterback in our system, we had Tom Brady.
So the quarterback's responsibility is to read the defense, right? He's the one that the game goes through. His job, this is why I talk so heavily about quarterbacks too, is they have so much information to process. They have to read the defense. They have to make adjustments. They have to make sure all the guys are in line. There's so much that goes into a quarterback's position that people don't take into consideration. Many people will just go and criticize a QB without having any type of understanding of how much goes into that position.
So he was the ultimate reminder, and when he was dishing out his protections and getting stuff, he would tell you. And the good quarterbacks do that. If you look at like Peyton Manning, all those.
The good quarterbacks are going to do that. They're in control of the game. That is who the ball runs through. They're going to make the adjustments. They're going to look out for their guys. They're going to read the defense. They're going to make the adjustments if they see something they don't like. And it's like you said, the good quarterbacks do this. Your Tom Brady's, your Peyton Manning's, your Aaron Rodgers. Let's see, Patrick Mahomes. You can use. I'm trying to think of another top one. I would use Matthew Stafford. I guess you could put Matthew Stafford on that list. But your guys, your great QBs, they're going to look out for their guys, right? They're not going to be careless with their decisions. Whenever they're carefully reading this defense, they're going to determine what's the best location for a pass. If it is worth passing, sometimes you'll see them throw it away, right? Because here's what you don't want to do. And he played wide receiver, so this is what I'm going to talk about. But a quarterback doesn't want to throw in a danger zone for a wide receiver. If you see that a wide receiver could take a brutal hit, if the timing's not right, your great quarterbacks are not going to put their wide receivers at risk. Drew Brees, Pooh Man, shout out to you for that one. Yes, how could I not put Drew Brees on that list? Drew Brees, that's a great one. Thank you, Pooh Man, for helping me out with that. Your Drew Breeses, Tom Brady's, Peyton Manning's, Matthew Stafford, Aaron Rodgers, those quarterbacks, Mahomes, I said as well, those quarterbacks are going to make those adjustments for their guys.
Boys, they would sit there, all right, I'm locking you, because he changed the protection. And it's the protections are the most fascinating things. That's why offensive linemen, like, they have, not only do they have to be choreographed in such a great manner together as one, like they're dancing, but they have to be able to see shit, body language of the guys. They got to be able to break down the defensive fronts.
I can be very harsh on certain penalties, right? Like, if it's a false start, holding, whatever, I can be kind of harsh, but when it comes to those things, but that's great insight, because he's talking about so much has to go right for the offensive line as well when it comes to them being in sync. Because if you're out of sync, you're going to get those penalties. So I really like this insight.
Things change, the protections change if there's a 3 down or a 4 down, like that's when we got to start, you know what I mean? But that's more of the defensive offensive line. You really only need to know the backers.
Now, if it's a run play, are you a part of the protection call too, or how does that work?
So run play on certain run play.
I know the answer to this. Why'd he ask this question?
Depending on the mic call, you would always have like the 6th man in the box, right? So the 6th man on the box, or is it the 7th? It'd either be the strong safety coming down, or the star, or it would be that corner. If one of the safeties dropped into the box, you'd be responsible. If it was a 6 or 7, Scott Chatio's gonna kill me.
Yeah.
So
I'm surprised he asked this question. Maybe he was just asking for the audience to learn, but you know, I think most of us know that whenever it's a run play, the wide receiver or the tight end then has a responsibility of picking up some blocks. This is why you like wide receivers like Julio Jones. Let's see. I'm trying to think of some of your bigger wide receivers. Devontae Adams. Would you consider him bigger? I do. Amari Cooper's. Your wide receivers like that, your bigger wide receivers, you want those types of guys to pick up some blocks, just like you want those tight ends, right?
But a lot of the times, if on certain plays, run play,
that you had a wrench. You certainly do not have a wrench over here, G Honda.
The quarterback would lock you on your guy over your face because they have a line, like on a trap play or something. You wouldn't come down and get the force because we're having a lineman come and pull to get him, or the line is adjusting up to that guy. You know, you'd always, for the most part of most of the time for receivers, they're blocking skill guys, safeties, corners. Now, when you see the guys on the bunches, the receivers on the bunch, a lot of times you're seeing with like the Lions, San Francisco, they'll have their receiver, St. Brown, he'll set the edge and he'll take out at the end, and then they'll pull the tackle and the guard on those toss traps. But like those are like one-off plays, and they'd have to be condensed down. You're not really going in and get
traps. You know what? I have another video too that breaks down. It's from Nick Saban breaking down film, but he gets into all the football jargon with the rats, the spies, the traps, flats, all of it. So I might play that one day. That's one that I've been wanting to play. I don't know if I've already played it, but I'm gonna have to play that again at some point.
Linebackers, because that's usually for the line. There are certain occasions where, like in Seattle, the Seattle Super Bowl, on the backside of this, I forgot the run play, but there was a backside play where I would go up and the linebacker would be in my face, and I would go up and go to the safety, and you could fully get him. But then there would be times where they could lock you, and you'd have to just if you're on the backside, you have to get in his way because to cut him off for the front side of the run. But most of the time you're going against the smaller guys unless it's one of those specialty plays. The playbook, I mean, this and everything for the offensive line, and you have everyone's
you have all of it.
You have all of it.
Okay.
So you could go through the offensive line part and see, the shades, because like they have a bunch of stuff on they divide the guy 1, 2, 3 what shades they are, and you could learn all that. It's like an encyclopedia of everything. Fundamentally, they have in your playbook, they have a whole section on just the cadence and the snap counts.
It talks about the cadence. See, I love details like this. The playbook will have the information on the cadences, snap counts, all those details. And of course, again, he's speaking from a wide receiver position, right? But equally, there's just as much information when it comes to the defense as well. They have a lot of information they have to process.
Wow. You know what I mean? The going on 2, going on 3, color this, color that, gold calls or to change plays. There's an audible section. Every way to communicate anything, it was in the playbook.
That's incredible.
What
if
I can't remember what movie it is. I feel like I've seen in a movie where a coach throws the playbook down on the athlete's table and says, "This is your Bible. You better learn it word for word." Something along those lines, right? That's basically what it is. That is the NFL athletes' Bible. That's their encyclopedia. That's what they have to know. There's a Bible verse. I've talked about this before, but it's from Timothy. It says, study. I only know the King James Version, right? But it says, study to show thyself approved unto God, a workman that needeth not to be ashamed. Whether you're a Christian or you're not, you can apply this to your life. Study the information so you don't have to be ashamed. You know it like in and out, like you know all the information, and you have zero doubt with your knowledge, and you're not going to be ashamed of your work, right? So that's what these athletes have to do. They have to know all this. They have to process all of this information so that they're not ashamed when it comes time to hit the field. Because you don't want to be that guy on the field that doesn't know the play, that doesn't know where you're supposed to be lined up, that doesn't know the snap counts, the cadence, all the little details. You don't want to be that guy.
How much was getting added during, like, say you install a play from week 6?
Those are all the fundamentals. Now, once you get in, this is all training camp.
Right.
And there's a lot of it is a test to see who can retain what, and you won't even have to get, if you listen to the coaches, you're not just going to sit there and be a guy that, there's smart guys that'll sit there and read the playbook and they can digest it. But if you go along with the coaching, that'll help you the most.
If you're paying attention in class,
if you're
you don't have to read the book.
Right. You won't have to go do homework.
Yeah.
Similar to how different people learn, right? You have your visual learners, you have your audible learners, you have your textbook learners, and some are all of the above, right? That's the same with when it comes to these athletes. Some of them are visual, some of them are audible, some of them are just textbook, right? And then some of them are all the above, where they have to have all of those elements in order to process this information. It's just fascinating. It's fascinating.
It's good to reference it.
For sure.
You know what I mean? It's just like school. It's fucking just like school.
That's crazy to think.
There's some guys that can sit there and read the formations and do it. I had to put them on flashcards and concepts. And me and Hoyer would sit and bounce them off of each other because, when you're a young football player, a lot of the evaluation of you is how much you can retain.
Oh, I believe.
How much can you take from the classroom to the drills to the team periods? That's like That's the huge, like one of the biggest evaluation processes.
Much about what I do, because I don't want people like trying to research me and be like, oh, that's who she is. Like, I don't want none of that. So I try to keep as much personal life to myself as I can. But on here, I'll be y'all's coach. On here, I'll be y'all's coach.
Of these young football players, because once you get to the to get to your point, once you get to the regular season, okay, that's all fundamental. Now new plays, game plan plays come in. And so you're going to have to be able to install 10, 15 new plays each week, potentially on what that team's weaknesses are.
Are those getting sheets to go into the playbook?
Those are, yeah, so each week on a Wednesday.
So I think we generally get the idea. There's like 30 more minutes of this video. I'm personally going to watch this by myself. I feel like you all comprehend the idea. So I'm going to move on from this. I do want to get into one last topic, which is with basketball. Y'all, I didn't watch this game, but I have been hearing rumblings about it, right? I'm trying to think of the last WNBA game that I watched. I think it was last week or the week before. It was the Fever with Caitlin Clark against the Dream with Angel Reese. Y'all know that she got traded from Sky to the Dream. So now she's with Atlanta, and I was so interested in watching that game. And it was a great game, y'all. I really enjoyed that game. But Caitlin Clark is back in the headlines again. Apparently there was some foul that was brutal on Caitlin Clark. I don't know all the information, but we're about to get into it. Because like I said, the last WNBA game I watched was the Fever against Atlanta Dream. So I don't follow the WNBA. I don't follow many sports as closely as I do football. I follow college football and the NFL heavily. To the point I don't want to miss games, right? Don't ever want to miss games. That's like my most watched sport. Okay, but anyways, let's get into it.
Now to the growing divide over what the WNBA called a flagrant foul. The Phoenix Mercury's Alyssa Thomas appears to put her fist on Caitlin Clark's throat as they scrambled for a loose ball.
Let me back up.
Thomas appears to put her fist on Caitlin Clark's
Y'all
throat.
See that? So this is not between Angel Reese and Caitlin Clark. Yeah, I do. Yeah, Tiffany, that drama, that's been ongoing. And it's sad because I don't mind Angel Reese. I think she gets a lot of unnecessary hate. I like Caitlin Clark just the same. It's just unfortunate that they tried to pin these two girls against one another, but I understand why. If y'all, comprehend anything, like start comprehending, hey, these sports are entertainment. It's a business. So when they have these headlines, when they can draw attention using Caitlin Clark against Angel Reese, they're going to use it. So I feel like that's going to be never ending. Similar to what you see with AJ Brown and Jalen Hurts. It's unfortunate, but it is what it is. It draws in attention. It draws in, money, all of those things. But it's just unfortunate. Anyways, let's get back to it because this is crazy. This is crazy. Her fist on Caitlin Clark's neck.
As they scrambled for a loose ball during a game on Wednesday night, Thomas was suspended one game, but now some are coming to her defense saying it was hard play, not a dirty play. Here's ABC's Perry Russell.
Days after the WNBA announced this apparent fist pressing.
It was hard play, not what? How do you defend this? What? Hey, shout out to the International Quiet Storm. Good to see you back in the building. I'm so excited. Let's see what you said. What's up with Alyssa Thomas putting a fist on Clark's neck? Right? This is insane to me. I just can't comprehend why that was necessary. There was no need for that. Like, I don't see how you can make an excuse for that. Even whenever, like, I was rewatching the footage of it, I was thinking, this is how I was going to look at it. I'm like, okay, is she physically trying to get herself up off the ground, and then she just maybe accidentally did this? This is the things that I was looking for. But no, she physically had a fist balled up on Caitlin Clark's neck. There's no excuse for that. I can't comprehend that. She is a dirty player. Alyssa Thomas was suspended before. Whoa! So I didn't know this, International Quiet Storm. So she has a history of doing this. She is becoming the Draymond Green of the WNBA. I'm gonna have to look into all her previous fouls. Because if she has a track record of doing this, it's no wonder that she got, I think she got suspended for 1 game. Anyways, let's continue watching.
Against the neck of superstar Caitlin Clark warranted a suspension.
Okay, so she got a suspension.
Tonight,
there's no excuse for that. She physically put her fist in a ball and put it on Caitlin Clark's neck. I don't see how you defend that.
Indiana Fever teammate Sophie Cunningham speaking out on her podcast, saying the two-time All-Star is being targeted and more needs to be done to protect her.
They're definitely targeting her, and the league and the refs do nothing to protect her.
Hold on, she has
The
a
growing
podcast.
discussion.
See, y'all, you know I'm bad with these podcasts. Don't tell me someone has a podcast, because now I'm going to have to look up her podcast. That's just another one I'll add to my list.
Across the league and beyond stems from this moment Wednesday night. Phoenix Mercury forward Alyssa Thomas falling on Clark, scrambling for the ball. At one point, Thomas appears to push into Clark's neck.
A hand to the neck.
Absolutely disrespectful. We have a generational talent and a WNBA superstar.
No foul was given during that game, but the WNBA reviewed the play and issued a flagrant foul.
That's crazy that they didn't even call that foul during the game. What kind of BS is that?
Against Thomas, and suspended her for 1 game for recklessly making contact with her fist to the throat area. Mercury
Clark is not being targeted. Now they're pushing it. Yeah, Tiffany, that's a great point. I could see how you could make that argument, because it's like everybody, some people spin a story and they try to make it out like, hey, they're going after her with every little thing, and it's really not that. They make more out of it than what it really is. So I definitely agree with you on that, Tiffany. That was kind of pushing it, saying that, hey, they're targeting her. Like, that's kind of pushing it. Not everybody is probably out to get her like they assume. Again, they just want to make this a part of their headlines and draw attention to the game with that. But, man, that one right there, though, that one right there was uncalled for.
Coach Nate Tibbetts questioning the investigation process, saying he's disappointed with the suspension.
Yeah, I agree with that. I do agree with that. International Quiet Storm, I do agree with that. Like, Indiana coach, post-game interview was justified. She was big mad. Yeah, I do think that one was justified because, again, when you have someone putting their fist on someone's neck like that, that's not right. Like, you just think about so many different things that could go wrong when you do something like that. Like, imagine if she had, received a neck injury from that. Those are things that you don't think about with that. So she definitely had a right to be upset.
To clean up our game, but I do think it's important not to rely on social media screenshots. This is a slippery slope, and let's watch the whole play, the whole game.
Tibbetts standing up for Thomas.
Not relying on screenshots. Let's look at the whole play. Sir, we looked at the whole play, and it does not look good. That video is not in your favor. Let me tell you that.
NBA veteran and 6-time All-Star, calling her a tough competitor, not a cheap player.
I think it will be important for the commissioner to address what she believes are important key areas of emphasis for officiating so that this doesn't continue to be like a lightning rod issue.
Clark is also known as a physical player. She has 5 technicals on the year, and she has complained about the refs. She left the game on Wednesday with a back injury. Not clear if that is tied to the foul, Lindsay.
All right, Perry Russum for us. Thank you.
Social media screenshots, there are clips everywhere. You are wrong, Mercury coach. Yes, very much wrong, because, you know, anyone with eyes that can visually see these clips can see it for what it is. It's not just the screenshots. Like, if you go through that whole clip, like, that's not in their favor at all. But here's another one. This is what Nightcap had to say on this.
Hey guys, it's your favorite Unk here. Go ahead and click that subscribe button below so you don't miss a single episode of Nightcap. That button right here. Come for the sports, stay for the stories. The Mercury's Alyssa Thomas has received a flagrant 2 and a 1-game suspension for her reckless making contact with a fist to the throat of Caitlin Collins in the WNBA announced today. The incident for which Thomas was deemed to have committed a non-basketball act occurred in the Mercury's 111-109 win over the Fever on Wednesday. Joe.
She got a little extra in there. She put a little extra in there.
Even if you say intent, because intent only matters to the individual committing the act.
Right.
Caitlin
She definitely
Clark.
put a little extra in that. You definitely put a little extra in that one.
Her throat is still hurting, whether she intended to do it or not. But this is how you know. Let me ask you a question. We've all fallen at some point in time. Who falls on their feet?
That was my thing. Okay, I'm glad Shannon Sharp brought this up because that was my thing. I was like, okay, maybe she was just trying to get herself up off the ground. You know, I was trying to look at all different angles, right? Nope, it was what it was. Her fist, balled up, placed on Caitlin Clark's neck. Because if you look at that angle, like it started off like near her chest, and I was like, okay, maybe she's trying to get up. But then she went straight for the neck. And I was like, okay, that looks intentional to me.
You spread your hands. You try to brace it. Ocho, you don't even try to fall.
That's another great point. When you're trying to get up off the ground, who puts their hand in a fist when they're trying to get up off the ground? Now, I'm not saying like that's impossible to happen. There probably is someone in the world who uses their fist to get up off the ground. But more times than not, you have a flat, palm of the hand when you are trying to get yourself off the ground. But anyways.
Like that?
Yeah.
Even if you're a Mercury fan, even if you're a Alyssa Thomas fan, physics teaches us nobody falls like that.
No, not on your knuckles.
No.
You'll break something, man.
Hey, first off, Alicia Thomas, she tough. She tough as a wood nickel. You hear me? Yeah, she tough as a wood nickel. So she put a little extra on.
She did.
Yeah, she put a little extra on. Yeah,
Well,
she did.
Remember she got Angel Reese last year around the neck.
Okay, Okay, International Quiet Storm, this is what you were talking about. Let me scroll back up to your comment because you talked about how she's done this before. Okay, here we go. She's a dirty player. Alyssa Thomas was suspended before. So Shannon Sharp's bringing up how she did this to Angel Reese, apparently. That when you have a history of behaving like this on the court, that's a problem. I feel like, there needs to be something done if she has a history of doing things like this.
Hey, what we talk about? Lay low and play slow. Oh, I ain't mean to. My bad. I ain't trying to put I ain't trying to put these knuckles in your neck. My bad. You know what I mean?
So I have no problem. them upgrading this to a flagrant and suspending her because of the history that we've seen. We've seen acts that are not basketball related. That is not a basketball related act, what she did.
No.
She deserved to be suspended. This is not any other thing other than that she deserved that. They went back and looked at it and saw that is not how people fall.
Right.
I tell you what, next time you stumble, put your knuckles down.
Hey.
Caitlin, I said Caitlin Collins, I meant Caitlin Clark.
Hey. And they got a close look on Caitlin Clark now because they know she's taking a little beating out there. Hey, everybody trying to bully her a little bit. You know what I mean?
Hey, she talk her trash too now. You know? Yeah, she a little animated too. She ain't
I like
innocent.
how Ocho pointed that out. She ain't innocent, y'all. Caitlin Clark will fire right back on you. Like, she ain't innocent in all this. She'll dish it right back. Maybe some of it's warranted, maybe some of it's not. But you know, we all know how the trash talking goes on the field or on the court.
Hey, look, you all in people's face and chirping, you got to deal with it now. Because when you hitting putting up these threes and doing all this stuff.
For that International Quiet Storm, I gotta check that out.
Yeah.
So when they get you back,
you know what I do like though,
What it?
Like, I know it's the extracurricular activity might be a little too much. But look, stuff like this continue to go on, man. You know, this get people to tune in. You know that, huh, Uncle Joe?
Yeah. You know what?
So playing. You know what? I want to tune in because at this point, I'm always seeing highlights on ESPN. I'm always seeing stuff on Fox. I'm always seeing stuff on NBC and CBS. Let me tune in and watch and see what's going on with these girls playing this ball.
Yeah, but you can't do. You see what they did with Jordan? They cut that out. They not finna let you do this.
Oh yeah.
Y'all, dare I say that the WNBA is like getting more physical? I've seen more physical altercations in the WNBA than I have in the NBA. Dare I say that? Dare I make that comment? I mean, granted, there was the one with Wemby. Like we all talked about the Wemby one. But man, it just seems like I'm seeing more physicality in the WNBA than I am in the NBA. Which is, like, that's just crazy to think about. Like, I had an argument with someone earlier today. Someone said the 90s were the best era and that today's guys couldn't play in the 90s era. And I said, I don't know if that's necessarily fair. And here's why I said that. Because when you get into comparing eras to eras, and this is something that Michael Jordan talks about, it's kind of like redundant in a way, but I went a step further and I said, is it that they couldn't do it or that today's game has changed with the rules and it doesn't allow them to be more physical? Because some of these athletes, like in the NBA, they want to be physical like it was in the 90s, but they're not allowed to based off the rules. The rules of the game have changed. And this is kind of going back to what Michael Jordan said with comparing eras to eras. It's a different look in each era of how the game was. I don't know. I don't know how y'all feel about that one, but I feel like it's an unfair statement to say that today's athletes, maybe some of them couldn't be in like that 90s era. But I'm not going to say all of them, because there's some of them that want that physicality, but they can't do it because of the rule changes. That's what I'm saying. Clark has done her things on the court and nobody questions it. Yeah, that's true. WNBA is very physical. Okay, Tiffany. Okay, I'm not crazy then. I'm not crazy. You're seeing it too.
When they look at you, when your peers look at you, they think Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese are these darlings. Yeah, they bring in punishment. Punishment come with that, bro. Straight up. That's punishment come with that. You know what I mean? In any league, you know what I mean? If you come in, you supposed to be like that. You're going to get everybody best game, tough game. They're going to be physical with you.
I didn't realize what time it was. We got to check because y'all know if CDT Beast is going live, I'm ending this live right now. CDT Beats will be live in 5 minutes. I can't play all this video, but here's what I'm going to do. Here's what I'm going to do, y'all. We're going to revisit this topic again tomorrow. The International Quiet Storm said he sent me a video of the Angel Reese and Alyssa Thomas clip, and I'm going to add that so I can give even more thoughts and we can react to Alyssa Thomas's consistent behavior on the court with having these fouls. That's what we gonna do. So I'm definitely, y'all know, I ain't missing a CDT Beats live at all. I ain't doing it. I'm glad I checked. I'm glad I looked at the time because I'm cutting it close. NBA shuts down anything physical because of what happened. Malice, yeah, Malice in the Palace. Yeah, shout out to the Pistons, but Malice in the Palace, man, that's classic. Yeah, the game has just changed so much, and it's unfortunate. Like, I feel like the NBA would be more marketable if they went back to that 90s physical element that they once had in the game. Anyways, y'all, I need to relax. I need to play my CDT Beats. I need to try to get some rest tonight because I feel like my brain, this is probably why I'm stumbling on my words, is because I haven't been getting the best sleep. I was up late watching Cree's live last night. The night before, I was up late on Agree to Disagree. So I definitely need to relax and get better sleep tonight. Let's close it out with the motivational video that Pooh Man, shout out to you, Pooh Man, you sent me this motivational video.
I'll say it again. Don't confuse movement with progress because you can run in place and not get anything done. So are you moving forward and who you're taking with you and how you made things better by the God-given talent that you all have in whatever area it may be, to write it, to direct it, to produce it, to cut it, to shoot it. You have a gift. It's called a gift. You didn't earn it. You were born with a gift. Now you hone that gift. You develop that gift. You do everything you need to do to protect it, and then you share it.
Hey, before I go, I just remember, okay, no, I was like, is the International Quiet Storm a mod? Because I was going to make him a mod if he wasn't, but he is in fact a mod. Let me go ahead and play Aaron Laura's drop, because Aaron Laura is in the building. I gotta hurry it up, because we gotta get out of here for CDT Beats. Shout out to you, Aaron Laura. All right, y'all. I will catch you in the next one, Touchdown Tribe. Bye, guys. Y'all thought this was over. Just kidding. It's not over. International Quiet Storm, I did not know you Cash Apped me. Shout out to you for hitting the Cash App. Y'all, it's 8 o'clock. I gotta hurry it up now. I really gotta hurry it up. But shout out to you. I just got your Cash App. You said for CD would drop a big booty if it sat on his lap. Shout out to you, International Quiet Storm. That's hilarious. We are already added to the banner. That's a plus. I don't have to re-add you to the banner, but I can play the money drop for you. Shout out to you, International Quiet Storm. I appreciate it. Y'all know you don't have to donate anything to the channel, but it's greatly appreciated. It helps me grow and helps me continue being on this platform. So thank you so much for, you know, being generous, because the International Quiet Storm, for those of you who don't know, I'm sure most in the YouTube streets already know this, but he is so generous on everybody's channel. I've seen him donate to the lead attorney, I believe AV, you've donated to Coop, obviously, CDT Beats. Like, you are so generous. So thank you. Thank you for supporting creators like me. Yeah, Pooh Man, thank you for letting me know. Thank you for letting me know. I'm going to teach you to check your Cash App multiple times during the stream. You never know when people bless the channel. That's the truth. Thank you. Yeah, you definitely got to let me know. You got to let me know when hit the Cash App, because sometimes I miss it. But shout out to you. Thank you for blessing the channel. For real, guys, we're closing out. CDT Beats is live. I will catch you all over there. Bye, guys.